how do you manage diversity, because people come together as a team to work in a given project, but they have different backgrounds, different cultures, different work ethic. So how do you manage that diversity that the team members bring into the organization? So those basically are the things that we are going to look at in this presentation. And let's basically start. The basic things first are that in project management, we use tools, knowledge, and techniques in order to effectively plan, execute, and control projects such that we achieve the objectives for which the project was started. The project manager is the person who is going to lead the project such that it reaches its successful completion. Then the project organization are the structures within which projects are executed. Basically, who reports to who. That is the organizational project organization. The project manager reports to who. Who is below the project manager? Who does what? And reports to who. And then the project team are the members or the group, the individuals working within that project to achieve its objectives. So the project manager carries a lot of responsibilities. If the project is not brought to the project manager, he can be the one who initiates the project. So he looks around and sees opportunities within the organization and then can write a project proposal about the project. And then basically in that proposal, the project manager outlines the project plans, the scope, schedule, budget, and resources. And then if that proposal is actually approved, then he can be the lead executioner. That person becomes the implementer. Okay, so if he executes the program, makes sure that every activity is moving as planned, and that he looks at issues that can arise, that the risks, the challenges, or any changes that can happen that can hamper the progress of the project. Make sure that those things are identified and are dealt with during the implementation phase. And then if the implementation is going as planned, then at a given time, the project has to be closed. So he carries out or leads the process of closing the project. That is what we call closure, project closure, or closing out the project. So in closing out the project, reports have to be written, stakeholders have to be engaged, what were the challenges that were met, what are the lessons learned. So that's a project manager. So definitely, if you are in charge of a given project, you just need to make sure that everything moves according to what is planned. And if there are any changes that happen, then you need to make sure that you communicate to relevant stakeholders and ensure that everyone is in line in achieving the objectives of the project. Okay, so make sure that the resources are well managed, you're working within the budget, and you're going to finish within time. Okay, it is 6 months, it is 1 year, whatever it is, make sure that things are done within the stipulated time. And then also, if there are risks associated with the running of a particular project, then you need to make sure that those risks are actually minimized. Okay, so the project manager handles risks and also any changes that happen that affect the project, he manages them. and also make sure that everything is documented in term for purposes of monitoring and evaluation. Documentation is very important, and then also closing out the project. So that means that you need to have a given set of skills. You need to be very effective at communication. You should be a very good leader. That means that you should be able to share vision and motivate people towards achieving that common vision. That's very important. So leadership is very key. Problems will arise during the implementation. You need to be able to identify them and solve them. So you need to have what you call problem solving skills, and then risk management, which starts by identifying the risks, assessing them, prioritizing, mitigating, and monitoring any issues that can bring about uncertainties and threats to the project. As a person, what characters do you need to have? You need to be a proactive person, a person who can address problems even before they become major hindrances to the project. Okay, proactive. You don't need to be a passive person who sits there and wait things to unfold. You need to be able to be a person who is looking forward and identify challenges before they become major hindrances. You need to be a very flexible person. That means that you need to know that the environment and circumstances keep changing, and that you may need to change your approaches and plans to be able to successfully complete a project. And then you need to be very organized. This is very important because project management involves writing reports, involves communicating, involves collecting data, involves making sure that the resources are in the right place at the right time. This requires organization. Accountable. Okay, it means that you need to take ownership of project outcomes, whether positive or negative. That means that you take responsibility. Make sure that you are in the driving seat and make sure that things are done accordingly. And then you need to be ethical. That means that everything that you do is done in a transparent way. Fairness should be executed, and then also integrity. Okay, bribery, corruption, malpractices, any professional unprofessional behavior is not something that you should be doing. So we move to the next part. We have looked at the project manager in terms of their skills, in terms of their competences, in terms of how they should behave, what are their traits. So the project manager is not going to work alone. They're going to work with team members, and these are the ones we call the project team. So the project team, these are the people within the project doing different things at different times. So they have different skills and expertise, but all of them have one common goal, which is that the project goal that they should achieve at the end of the project. So their roles and responsibilities may vary depending on the project and depending on the nature of the project itself. That is the nature of the team available and what skill set they have. So these team members work together, communicate, coordinate work, and also collaborate together. They contribute to making sure that the activities are actually are done. They provide knowledge, they share expertise, and also there are people who can also give you reports on how the project is moving in a transparent and accountable manner. So you need a team. How do you set up this team? And what factors influence this team formation? Okay, there are projects that are what you call one-man projects. That means that you have only one person running a project. But you can, in most cases, larger projects require many people. So you need to recruit people according to their skills and expertise that they bring. Complex projects require more people, more specialized skills. Okay, we have highly technical skills, or what you can call highly specialized areas, where you need highly specialized individuals. But you can also have projects where you need mid-level technical competence, so they don't require a lot of technical. For example, if you're going to have you're going to set up an outreach, a health outreach project, and you're going to aim at identifying community members who have conditions that can be managed at the lower primary health care centers, but they are stuck in the village. You may need midwives, nurses, clinic officers with basic knowledge in common health conditions, signs of worm infestation, malnourished children. You get so maybe mosquito net, or even management of mild malaria cases. So these are what you call mid-level health cadres who can provide the services at that level. So you may not need highly skilled or specialized medical doctors to implement that project. So it depends on the scope of the project and what basically you're going to do. And then for how long will the project last? For projects that are going to last for a period of let us say more than 1 year, then you may need to recruit people who are going to be stable in the job. That means that these are people who are committed to running the project. Now you have different members in the team. You have what you call the team leader. This is the person who is responsible for the overall management and managing and leading of the project team. That means that person should set project goals, objectives, and deliverables, and then assign roles to the different members. And then over time, during the implementation of the project, sees the progress of the project, and if there are issues that happen, they should report back, and also ensure that key project milestones are actually achieved within the three things that we talked about: the cost, okay, within the cost, time, and then also in terms of the quality of the product that you want to look at. So the person should be a good communicator, such that communication and collaboration amongst the team members is actually very effective. And then may also represent team members in different stakeholder meetings, and also makes a decision, and to be able to make decisions. So project team members, these are the ones who come with different expertise and knowledge. They perform their tasks as assigned. Okay, so they also work with others, share expert knowledge, and participate in meetings and contribute to ideas and suggestions. But they should also adhere to project policies, procedures, and guidelines. So for you to effectively manage a team, you need skill sets. You need particular skill sets. That is to say that you need to have technical knowledge. You need to have leadership knowledge. Okay, you need to have team building skills. Okay, leadership skills, technical skills, and then also team building skills. These are very important. So the leadership skills that you really need to have, a leader definitely should be one who has a vision and can share that vision with the other members, and then lead those members to the achievement of that vision. So that means that you need to have the ability to inspire and motivate team members, and then also if there are challenges, you need to be able to make decisions and solve them. Communicate effectively. If there are conflicts that are arising, resolve them. Have very strong negotiation skills, very good at time management and organizational skills. Okay, so those are the leadership skills that you really need to be able to manage the project team effectively. The technical skills are basically the things that you learned in school in line with your profession. Okay, those are what we call the technical skills. So that means that if you are a clinical officer, you need to be able to take history from a patient. You need to be able to carry out a physical examination, make a diagnosis, and then prescribe treatment. Those are your technical skills. Okay, and then on top of those technical skills, then you need to have the project management knowledge and skills. Okay, so it means that you need to know what you studied in your particular field, but in addition, you also need to have knowledge of project management principles and methodologies. That is what you also need to have. Teamwork skills. Okay, working together as a team. That means that you need to be what you can call, you need to have what you call social skills. Okay, you need to have social skills. Social skills, are you a person who can easily interact, collaborate, communicate with other members? That is very, very important. So for you to be able to do that, you need to be very good at active listening. You need to be able to show empathy. You need to be adaptable and flexible, and also be a person who can offer constructive feedback and constructive criticism, and also be a person who can resolve any conflicts. Okay, so working as a team is very, very important. So you need to have the ability to navigate different people of different diversity. That is also very important. So, what are the tools that you need to effectively manage a team? Okay, so for example, you are in a health project. The health project is on, let us say, mosquito net distribution in a given county. Okay, so on the ground you have community health leaders or community health workers on ground, and then the community health. Just 1 minute. The community health members are the ones who are distributing the mosquito nets in the community. Okay, and then they have their leader who they are working together with, who is giving them supervisory work, or is basically supervising the distribution of these mosquito nets. And then for you, you are based in Juba, in the main office. So you need to make sure that this team actually works together, such that the mosquito nets are distributed to the right people and in the right time frame. So what you need if you're going to do that, what tools and tools and techniques do you need? So first, of course, for any activity, you need to plan. So you need to have what you need to know how to use what you call the work breakdown structure, WBS, which is basically splitting the work or the tasks within a given project into manageable components. Okay, so in this project of mosquito net distribution, the mosquito nets may be bought in Juba and have to be taken into to the county X. So that means that there should be a person who is concerned with the transportation. Okay, even before transportation, there is a person concerned with procurement. So procurement, transportation, delivery, and then all that means that you need to break down these tasks such that you know who is going to do what and at what time. So that is what the work breakdown structure helps you with. And then another tool that you can use is what you call the Gantt charts. This one will help you to visualize project timelines. That you know that the mosquito net distribution is going to take place in a period of 2 months. So that means that at each week that passes, there is something that you should achieve, and then you should have a chart for that to visualize, to understand how the project is moving. And then you also have tools that can allow you to allocate resources to the different tasks. And then at the level of organizing, you need to have what you call a team roster and roles. Each member should know what they are going to do within the project. This is very important, and you should communicate this to them. They should know. So you need to have what you call effective team communication. And you can also draw what you call a team charter, which sets the clear expectation and guidelines for team members. Uh, um, what are the expectations of the team members in this activity? This is very important. The other aspect is on monitoring and evaluation. You need to be able to see what the team members are doing, what are they achieving, and what are the bottlenecks or challenges that they are facing, and what are the things that you need to change such that the project can move on successfully. So communication is very, very, very key. If you don't communicate, you create what you call a communication gap. And then when there's a communication gap, it means that you are creating room for people to start rumors around. The project manager is doing this, the project is doing this, there is corruption here, there is that, the funds were moved from here to there. Okay, so if you don't communicate, you create room for chaos, you create room for conflicts. Okay, so proper communication is very important. Always use clear and concise language. Don't verbose, which is don't use a lot of words to explain a simple thing. Be very clear. What is the message and what is the call to action? I hope you know that. Those are two things. Tomorrow, our donor is coming to the site. That is the information. Then the call to action means that what are you supposed to do then? Okay, what are you supposed to do then? What does it mean that the donor is coming? So if the donor is coming on Monday, and that is the situation, so what? The so what part is that prepare. Make sure you're dressed very well, you're smart, make sure that the reports are complete, make sure that the office is neat. Okay, make sure that maybe the local community members are informed. Maybe have a welcoming party. Maybe someone makes a speech. You get, so that is what you call to action. If you have provided me information, what does that information mean? That is very, very important. So clear and concise language, be open and transparent, listen to feedback and act on it if there is need. Through communication, you can resolve conflicts. Conflicts can arise from miscommunication. Okay, so if you communicate very often, you eliminate chances of having conflicts within a given project. Okay, you need to be very dynamic with your communication style. Different stakeholders and different team members may prefer or may need you to communicate in a certain way. So that means that you need to have the ability to adjust your communication style. Okay, That means you need to know the right tone, the right language, and then the right channels, whether it's verbal, whether it is email, whether it is phone call, whether it is what. So know the communication style that you can use. Stakeholders are people who are interested or have interest in the project that you're implementing. That means that you need to constantly communicate to them. If it is a health project, you need to continuously communicate to the local health department, the CHT, the county health department. Needs to understand what is going on. So you provide them updates on the project. So you write project reports or project progress reports and key milestones. This is very important. In case you want to make any changes, they are in the loop and they can accept the changes that you want to make in the project. Conflicts can happen in your organization. Sometimes conflicts can be healthy because they can result into growth of the organization, or they can be negative. So you need to address them promptly. Communication is one of the ways of resolving conflicts. But you also need to have some conflict resolution techniques such as active listening and negotiation. Often seek for what we call a win-win situation, and compromising is often necessary. Okay, you want to make sure that the project actually continues and is not derailed because of the conflicts that you have with team members. Sometimes if you are part of the conflict, then you may need a third party to come as mediators because you will not definitely be impartial. So some conflicts may not be resolved by you as the project manager, but you might need to have another person to help you resolving the conflict. People come into the project with different values. They have different experiences. They have different cultures. That means that you need to be able to accommodate their diverse cultures, values, and perspectives. Avoid any biases, what you call stereotyping, or any discriminatory behaviors based on tribe or ethnic lineage. So it is very important for you to even train your team members on cultural competence. Okay, cultural competence is related to how you can effectively work with people of diverse cultural backgrounds. The team members have to be motivated such that they keep focused on the task, such that they can achieve this task. When they achieve the task, that means that the organization is going to achieve its objectives. So there are many techniques that you can use to keep staff motivated, giving them bonuses in terms of they can be monetary, they can be non-monetary bonuses or incentives. Make sure that you have a positive work environment. Don't shout at people. Treat people with respect and dignity that they deserve. Don't underlook anyone, and encourage people to speak out. To speak out if they have any issues that need to be addressed. Empower members. This is to say that members can come into the project with either issues to do with low self-esteem, whether issues to do with lack of certain skill set. When they come into the project, you need to make sure that they also grow. They grow in terms of self-worth, self-esteem. They also acquire certain skills and knowledge, and that they can actually speak up. You encourage people to speak out, and this can be by giving them authority, creating a positive environment, but also making sure that they participate in decision making. These are very key. You don't want a demoralized, unempowered staff within your project. You want to have project team members who can take their place, who are not people who shy into the corner, who are fearful, who can't speak up, who can take up opportunities if they arise. So you basically need to mentor them into people who are highly empowered. You also need to give the team members um, their performance reports. So you need to carry out a performance assessment. Okay, this can be as a team, or this can be as on individual basis. Okay, this is very important to why it helps in identifying the areas of weakness and give them feedback that can help them to grow. This is very important in terms of career growth and also coaching, mentorship. They should be able to identify areas of weakness and improvement. And this can only be done if performance assessments are done in a timely way. You need to give people assessments, or you need to assess people's performance maybe every 3 months, every 6 months, or maybe a yearly performance assessment. This is very, very important. And then provide them feedback, which I say the key thing is that feedback should be constructive. That means that it looks at the positive areas and also areas for improvement. Should be done in a respectful way, okay, and it should also be two-way, a two-way feedback. That means that the person should also be able to to appraise themselves. They should be able to internalize, reflect on their performance, and also give feedback. So that means that the the person also has the liberty to comment on the feedback that they have received. That's what we mean by two-way feedback. Feedback is very important for growth. As a career person, you need to understand what people think about you and how you can improve in your performance. Risk management is also key. Be able to look out for any risks that may happen within the project, and also alert the team members of any potential risks that can happen, and how the risks can actually be mitigated, and how a contingency plan in place. Um, if any other issues arise, it is very important that you establish a mechanism of how issues can be resolved, and what relevant stakeholders can actually be involved. Often, if issues emerge, whatever nature they are, they need to be documented and tracked. And what lessons can one learn from those issues? Collaboration is very key. Cultivate a culture of collaboration. Okay, this is very, very important because everyone comes with their own different skills, knowledge, and expertise. And if you don't promote a culture of collaboration, it means that people will not actually be able to share their expertise, and that will create issues in running the project. Innovation, that means that new ideas need to be embraced. Sometimes you do not need to go full swing with the new ideas, but you can experiment them. Provide any resources for people who have innovative ideas, and then see how they can actually be scaled up. This is very important in team management. All right. So I think let us pause here, and then let me ask questions perhaps, and then we'll look at project organizational structure. Let me check if we are on the same page. Are we on the same page? Anyone with any questions? Okay, so let's move. Project organizational structure. So you have a project running in an organization. Let us say the organization is an NGOX. The NGOX has a country coordinator, and then it has actually usually we have country director, and then we move to project coordinator sometimes, and then program coordinators. You can have the nutrition program coordinator, education program coordinator, and the others. Okay, and then under that you have different project managers. So that kind of structure is what we are terming as organizational structure. But in the context of projects, okay, so for example, if you have a nutrition project, who reports to who? Okay, that is how is the work organized and how is it coordinated to achieve the objectives of the nutrition project. Okay, so that is what we term as project organizational structure. So we have here in this presentation, we're talking about 4 of them: functional, matrix, hybrid, and then projectized structure. So let's look at each of these. So in a functional structure, you have you have an organization where you have different departments: human resource, marketing, finance, engineering departments. So each department has, let us say, a coordinator, okay, a coordinator, and then followed by a manager, and then the staff. Okay, so you have a marketing coordinator, marketing manager, and then the marketing staff. Finance coordinator, finance manager, then the staff. Okay, so that is a functional structure. Okay, so the departments are according to their functions. That is human resource, marketing, finance, or any other department. This structure is actually good because it allows efficient utilization of resources, and that someone knows that if I'm a program manager, I can become a program coordinator. That means there is a clear career path. So you work when you know that when I move from this level, I move to the next level. And you know the next level, what the next level is, and what it requires to be. So it also streamlines the process for decision making and management. Who is responsible for what, and what levels of authority are there, and how are decisions actually made. It is very, very clear. So the reporting is very okay. The challenges happen when the human resource needs to report to the marketing. That communication may be problematic. The human resource may need to know what is happening in the marketing department, in the procurement department, and others. But since they have their own line of communication, it often becomes very hard. And also decision making may be very hard, or actually very slow, because everyone is focused on their tasks. Okay, the focus is basically on their line, and it may be quite difficult. So that means that flexibility and adaptability can be issues. And then we move to what you call the matrix structure. Okay, so that with the matrix structure, we have the project manager having more authority than in the previous structure. So this is how it looks like. Okay, so within an organization, you can have many products. You can have product A, product B, product C. And then for each product, there is a research department, there is a department for finance, there is a department for, or there is a person responsible for finance, there is a person responsible for sales, for production and research, for each of these products. Okay, so that means that for you, you're focused on, depending on which line you are in, for you, you're focused on your product line or your service line. Okay, that is what you call a matrix system or a matrix structure. It is easy to allocate resources. You know what you you are supposed to do because you know the line that you know the product or the service that you're supposed to deliver, and communication is actually easy. And because project managers have more powers, they can easily make decisions. That means that there is improve the flexibility and adaptability to project changes. The issues here can arise when you have different project managers having conflicts or power struggles amongst them. So it becomes quite difficult. Also, if you have one person managing two lines of production or two products at a go, so it can cause issues also related to administration and coordination efforts. So it can be quite challenging because it sometimes brings confusion. That's what can happen in the matrix structure. In other organizations, you have the mixture of functional and then functional and the matrix structure within the same organization. Okay, so the levels of authority and responsibility may vary depending on the project that is being handled. Okay, so that is what we call a hybrid. The hybrid can also be called the mixed organizational system, or it can be called the composite structure. Okay. So the advantages is that you can change the structure depending on the project needs and organizational needs. And then also that you get the benefits of the two structures, the functional one and then the matrix. So to some extent, there is some degree of flexibility and adaptability. The challenge is that it's sometimes very complex, and this brings issues in the implementation process. Sometimes you have confusion and all ambiguity, that people don't know what they are supposed to do. So that problem. And then you need to make sure that there is a very good balance and coordination between the different structures, that is the functional and the matrix structures. And then the last group, the last structure is the one called the project structure. With this, the project team is composed of members who are dedicated to the project and report to only the project manager. So the project manager has full responsibility and authority over the project and reports to the senior executive manager, okay, or the program manager who oversees a number of projects. Okay, so this happens, for example, if we have a wash project, and then we have a health project, and then we have a GBB project. So most of the things are done by the project manager, who reports to the project, to the program coordinator. So that is the projectized structure. So the benefits are that you have more authority, and that means you make decisions easy and you're focused more on your project and then deliver the goods. So that means that there is flexibility, you have more authority and autonomy to make decisions. The challenge is that you may need expertise from functional units, either in finance management, in marketing, which may not be directly related to the project scope, but you still need them. So that's one challenge. And then there can be issues of isolation or conflicts that happen with functional units. So because if the project manager has more authority and yet they need to consult with the human resource, with the finance, with the procurement. So this can bring issues in running the projects. Okay, and also it becomes very hard to transfer knowledge that you have gained from one project to the benefit of the organization. This can be quite challenging. So we have come to the end of our presentation. It is now time for questions.